What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and we're back today with Sinistcha and Sinistcha EX. I think I'm pronouncing that right. My pronunciations are always terrible, so if that's wrong, whatever. I'm just going to call it the teacup thing. But anyway, what we're going to be doing is mostly focusing around the Spill the Tea attack, which we can discard up to 3 grass energies from any of our Pokemon. Then this attack does 70 for each one we've discarded this way, so we can do about 210 damage, which is pretty nice for a single prizer. What we can do is stack up energies with Teal Mask Ogerpon in order to always have energies to discard. Then what we can actually do later is use things like Wyrdeer in order to bring that into the active, pull all the energy off the Ogerpons, and get some big damage that way. Then we also have the Rebrew attack, where after we've spent most of the game discarding a bunch of energies, what we can do is we can shuffle them all back into the deck with the Rebrew attack, and then we place 2 damage counters on any Pokemon we want for each energy that we shuffle back into the deck that way. So it's actually a pretty strong combination in the late stages of the game. We run Kieran in order to help us shore up some damage numbers when we need to, in order to make things a one-hit KO on the Spill the Tea when we really need to. We have Bug Catcher Set in order to get through our deck a little bit faster than regular. We also run Carmine in order to be able to get a little bit deeper into our deck on our first turn, since we want to be digging and getting through our deck and kind of accelerating our game state as much as possible. We also play Prime Catcher and multiple copies of Boss's Orders in order to be able to pick which targets we're attacking, since that's pretty important. Target selection is kind of a big deal in this deck. But yeah, that's going to be the list, guys. Definitely let me know what you think of the list, and definitely let me know any changes that you would make. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Be sure to join the community Discord down in the comment section down below, or not comment section, in the description down below, where the deck list for this video is, the link to the community Discord, and then also the link to our community tournament coming up on Saturday at 6:30 p.m. EST. It's a community event. It's completely free to enter. The access code is GNOME, G-N-O-M-E. All of that will be down in the description below. So if you want to enter, it's completely free to enter. There are prizes if you are able to get at least top 8. And the turnout last time was really good. It was like 100 people. So we would love to replicate that or even do better. So definitely be sure to join that if you're interested. And be sure to let me know what you want to see in the next video and things like that. I've been trying to do daily content. I fell a little bit behind, got super busy, so I do apologize for that, but we'll try to get back to our regular scheduled program and keep the videos a little bit more active. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel. It's been phenomenal. The channel's been growing a lot lately, and I really appreciate it, so thank you everybody who's checking out the videos, checking out the content, all that kind of stuff. It really means a lot, and I appreciate it. But yeah, that's it for all the announcements, and I will see you guys in Game 1 in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1, and we're going to be going first. We do open our little teacup, some Grass Energy, Ultra Ball, and a Carmine. Our opponent is playing something. Double colorless, water energies. We see a Palkia. I don't know what this is about to be. At least not off what I saw. We are going to get 2 more cards off the mulligan. That's pretty cool. There's a Monkey Dory. What is this deck? So, we'll Nest Ball ourselves. 1 Teal Mask. What we can do is guarantee 1 draw here. There is the Kieran. We don't want... I'm actually going to miss these on purpose, since I don't want to end up discarding all of it. Like, I'm going to discard with Carmine anyway, but because I'm already discarding it, I don't want to, like, add more stuff to my hand that's pretty much guaranteed just to get discarded. So, we'll throw the energy down there, find another one. Just manually attach for now. We can go Carmine. And from here, we will pass our turn. Unfortunately, our Roxanne is also going to get discarded on the next turn. More than likely. It sucks that we had to discard some kind of valuable pieces, but it just is what it is. We have the ability to draw ourselves some extra cards. We're more than likely not going to get KO'd. So we should be okay. I'm very curious to know what we're playing against. We're just kind of seeing like supporter, not like supporter cards, but like support mons on the board. So it's kind of hard to know as of right now. There's an Arven. Maybe that'll give us a better idea of what we're up against. Nest Ball and an EXP share. What is this deck? I mean, obviously it's some kind of Blissey build, but like, who uses Blissey with Palkia? I'm certainly confused, to say the least. So we can play this down. We'll guarantee ourselves the energy attachment for the turn. We'll Teal Dance once before we get ourselves a whole new hand. We don't really need the Earthen Vessel for now, so we can go ahead and Carmine. We get ourselves our Sinistcha, and we get ourselves another Ogerpon. We can Teal Dance one more time. We do have access to the Prime Catcher, though we don't really need it for this turn. We'll spill the tea. We can discard 2. Knocking out the Monkey Dory. They can hold on to the dark energy if they like. We have the ability to grab ourselves a prize card. It is Professor's Research. We could potentially be KO'd here if they go like double colorless into moving the dark energy over. But if they don't, I'm just gonna boss his orders the Mew EX up. Fantastic. So I will Nest Ball, grab myself Wyrdeer for later. I can boss orders this up, and then from here I can spill the tea, getting rid of this, and this. Getting another easy 2 prize cards. I have no idea what my opponent's playing. Like, obviously it's Blissey, but I don't know who plays this style. Though, in fairness, more than once on this channel, I've seen a build that I think is absolutely terrible, and I talk a lot of crap on it, and then it turns out it's, like, actually good. So, you know, maybe I should be nicer, but I kind of think this build is hot garbage, at least as of right now. So we'll Teal Dance. Ideally, what I'd like to do is just be able to stack up enough energies that I can pull the Wyrdeer into the active and just get the knockout on the Palkia V. So I'll throw this down. We do have... do I want any of that? No, not really, right? Because I'm going to research. The question is... I don't have that many energies, is the problem. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, which isn't going to be enough to, like, get anything really going with Palkia. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll bring this up. Throw Wyrdeer into the active. Put all the energy onto it. $160. So again, we're a little bit short, but not the biggest problem in the world. We can go ahead and attach one more. So we're 20 damage short. Obviously, I would have loved to find like a Kieran or something, but that just wasn't going to be an option for me right now. But what I can do is that, if they don't retreat it, obviously we can just knock it out. If they turn into like Palkia V-Star or something, we can just knock it out. But even if they do retreat it, I can just go into Sinistcha and Curse Drop for like the last little bit of damage. Unless they heal it slightly this turn. Which then I'll just attack it again and knock it out that way. Alright, there's the Palkia V-Star. They can use their V-Star power to knock out my Wyrdeer, if they so choose to. There's the Star Portal. I'm very confused by this build. Like, I genuinely don't think it's very good. So, we'll go Sinistcha. We can place the other one down, so that way we can get into our EX on the next turn. Draw ourselves some cards. Energy Retrieval for 2, just to guarantee the KO of Palkia. How much do we need? 110. So we'll draw ourselves one more. We will grab that. And from here, we'll Carmine. We don't really need anything else that we already saw. That's kind of cool that we have our boss's orders for the next turn to guarantee the end of this game. So what we can do from here is discard 1 and 2, get the KO, knock that out, go down to 1 prize remaining, and then on the next turn we can knock out whatever we want. We can boss something into the active if we want, or what we'll probably end up doing is just going Bug Catcher Set, grabbing our EX out of the prize card or out of our deck, evolving, and getting the KO on something on the bench for fun. We can Earthen Vessel one away, just getting more stuff in the discard pile, just, again, for the fun of it. We have Temple of Sinnoh, so they can't do anything. Oh, I forgot they had that water, the water energy. Alright, I mean, they can KO us in the active if they want. Doesn't really matter. So we will bring in our teacup. We can manually attach 1 energy. We'll Bug Catcher Set to grab ourselves our teacup. Place that down. We'll Earthen Vessel the other energy away, just so that way we have as much there as possible. And then we will rebrew for 260, dropping that onto the Monkey Dory. since we only need one prize card anyway. And then we'll close out game number 1. Definitely a weird deck. I don't know what my opponent's playing there. Like, I don't really get the point of it. I don't think that's very good. I've been wrong before when I sit here and talk about how decks are bad, but you know, I think I'm fairly safe to say that that deck was pretty bad. So, but you never know what you're gonna end up encountering on the ladder. Even in Masters, you just kind of run into some weird stuff. So it is what it is. That's game 1, and I'll see you guys in game 2 in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into game 2, and our opponent, or we're going to be going first. We are going to mulligan, so obviously not super ideal. Hopefully our opponent is playing a deck that doesn't confuse me. We open a teacup, and not too much else, though we do have the Carmine. Obviously losing out on our Sinistcha EX isn't fantastic, but it just kind of is what it is. We will Nest Ball here, grab ourselves an Ogerpon. Since we're already going to be using Carmine to discard everything, getting ourselves Squawkabilly doesn't really help all that much. It's kind of more as a backup in case you don't get into your Squawk, or like into your Carmine on open. Having to discard so many energy is not actively what we would want. We do get one more to place down on our teacup, and we can pass our turn. Not the best opening hand. Definitely got a little bit unlucky, but that just kind of is what it is. We'll see what we're up against momentarily. They do have the Cleffa and the active. We'll see what they're playing based off the Buddy Poffin. Obviously, we're gonna, it is, oh, it's Charizard with Dracopult and Pidgeot. So it's like the triple stage 2 build. That's actually not that bad for us. Our matchup, obviously into the Charizard isn't too bad because we hit for weakness. So that actually can kind of help us out a little bit. We're gonna want to be able to Super Rod the Sinistcha EX back into the deck. Since it's the Rebrew is going to be kind of nice to be able to snipe some stuff out later. But it seems like for now we're just going to have to kind of be content with knocking out the Cleffa. The other thing is that we actually don't want to end up evolving the teacup, since it's actually, thanks to its the storehouse hideaway, it's actually immune to the Dracopult damage, so it's actually better to not evolve it for a little bit. Where they brought this into the active to use evolution, like I know that they attached the psychic energy, but I'm kind of surprised they did that. I guess they're gonna go like Charmeleon and Bidoof here. Interesting choice. Not sure that's what I would have done, but you know, who knows. So we're gonna go Ultra Ball, get rid of both of these energies to grab ourselves our regular stage 1 Sinistcha, and then we will Carmine after, get ourselves a whole new hand. Not anything too great. Again, we're kind of bricking really hard this game, which definitely sucks a little bit. We'll go Energy Retrieval, grab ourselves 2 energy, place 1 down, have 1 for next turn. We can go ahead and spill the tea. We'll remove 1 from the Ogerpon. Take the knockout, grab ourselves a prize card, see what we end up getting. It is a Super Rod, which is nice, so that way we can get our Sinistcha EX back in the deck. Also, more than likely, they're going to be able to knock this out. So we'll be able to put all that back into the deck as well. Then after, what we will probably end up doing is just going Professor's Research, digging a little bit deeper into our deck to get ourselves some pieces. They can discard everything to grab themselves their Charizard EX, which we are not going to complain about that. They actually go Pidgeot. That's actually a better play, especially if they already have the rare candy in hand, which they do. They do give up a Tauros and their Radiant Charizard. This is actually pretty good, especially because it hits for weakness, so I probably would have kept that around. Obviously, they can Super Rod it back into the deck later if they really want to, but it'd be good to kind of hold on to. They are going to be able to draw with the barrel. There's a Buddy Poffin for a new Dreepy, if I had to guess. Or nothing. Interesting. They can quick search here for the Charizard, if I believe. They Super Rod for the Dreepy and the Radiant Charizard. Makes sense. I mean, I guess they could just draw with Cleffa. I'm surprised they rare candied. Unless they are going to try to draw a Cleffa, so they're just trying to get as many cards out of their hand as possible. Okay, they go Iono. That's totally fine with us. Our hand was not very good. This isn't much better. What is happening this game? So what we're going to end up doing here is we'll bring in the Teal Mask, since if we can get 2 energies, we will be able to KO this anyway. There's one. There's another Teal Mask, which is good for us. What we can do is Super Rod, get all of these back in the deck. And then from here, what we'll do is Carmine, since we just need as many cards as possible right now, we do get ourselves a Nest Ball and a Bug Catcher set. So we can go Nest Ball, grab ourselves one more Ogerpon. Since that's kind of what we're going to end up needing, we can go Bug Catcher set here. We do get ourselves this and another energy. So we'll Teal Dance, draw one more. We have the research for next turn if we need it. We can place down the energy. And what we don't want to play the Sinistcha regular yet, because like I said, the Stowaway or the Storehouse Hideaway will protect us from Dracopult, which is probably what they want to go next anyway. So it's kind of safer just to leave it as is. We can attack with Ogerpon. Since we hit for weakness, we're able to knock out Charizard, grab ourselves 2 more prizes, kind of making that a little bit easier. We get ourselves an extra Ogerpon. If they choose to go into, let's say they choose to go Charizard here and bring that into the active to knock us out, that's totally fine by us. We can bring in a new, we can bring in our Sinistcha regular, get the KO, and then from there, just look to boss up anything we want. That way, if they bring in Dracopult, we will survive the first attack. We will attack back into it, do it to it, KO, and then same kind of play from there. We also have the Ultra Ball. So, in the event that we need to bring out our Sinistcha EX, that's also an option to be able to snipe out the barrel or something else, if we so choose. So we'll see what we're, kind of up against. Depending on what they do as well, we could always Ultra Ball again and potentially go like Wyrdeer. Though right now we don't really have enough energies to make that worth it. we could use that if we wanted. They could unfair stamp us. That would be kind of a little bit annoying. If we're able to get into some energy, though, we'll just redraw through our Ogerpon, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. They go unfair stamp. That's, again, totally fine by us. Obviously, provided we get something off the Bug Catcher set. If we don't, then obviously a little bit worse, but... They go Counter Catcher. That's actually not that bad. Because, like, this Ogerpon can't attack, obviously, but we don't really need it to. It can absorb an attack from the Dracopult. Obviously, we'll give up a bunch more prize cards when it does attack into us, which we're not going to be super happy about, but overall, not that big a deal. Kind of surprised they haven't evolved either one of these, especially after like all the resources they've spent. Definitely interesting, to say the least. There's one energy. We can go ahead and Teal Dance. Draw ourselves one more card. We can attack into the Pidgeot just to make it a little bit easier to boss up as a second 2-prizer later. So that's also an option. We'll go Bug Catcher set here. Grab ourselves another Ogerpon and an energy. Though we don't really need to play the Ogerpon down right now. We can just Teal Dance to it. From here, do I want to research is the real question. Because I could go... In theory, I could go Sinistcha EX, evolve, retreat, attack with Rebrew, knock out the Dreepy. Yeah, I think that's the play I'm going to make. And then we're going to play down the other Ogerpon as well. Get the extra energy in the discard pile. We'll go research. Draw ourselves some pieces. We'll place the next teacup down so that way I have it for later. We do have the boss's orders, which will help us out. Then from here, we'll go Teal Dance one more time. Since we already have 3 energies on this, we can guarantee the knockout with Charizard on the next turn if we want. We'll hold on to the Super Rod for right now. We'll Rebrew for 120, knocking out the Dreepy. Since we don't really care about anything else, right now the biggest threat is if a Dracopult starts kind of popping off on us. We hit the Charizard EX for weakness, so we're really not concerned of that kind of coming into the active, since anything on our board is able to knock it out. So Dracopult's like actually our biggest threat. We do have access to boss's orders to knock out the Charizard if they make one. We can pull up the barrel if we so choose to, or just start putting damage onto Pidgeot as well. Yeah, so we still have plenty of options. They did already burn their research stamp. Obviously, they could go for a Roxanne if they run it, but I don't know if they do. I think they just kind of gave up. So from here, we will boss's orders the... Yeah. So we will retreat, bring in Ogerpon, at this point, we can Pokégear, grab Boss Soldiers again. We will knock out the Charmeleon. Like I said, I think our opponent just kind of gave up at this point. Since, obviously, like, they could Quick Search, they could bring out Charizard. Not that it would help them in any way. So I think knocking out the Dreepy just kind of made them give up. Since even... Let's say they made another one, right? So, like, let's say they play Dreepy on the board. Same thing that we just did, how we bossed up the barrel. We would just keep bossing up every Dreepy they try to make, since that's the only threat to us. And at this point, even if they bring out, like, Radiant Charizard and attack into us, again, it doesn't matter. We'll be able to knock that out as well. So we're pretty much, like, the game is over from this point, and the game's been over for a little bit. So, two a little bit different decks. Obviously, the Blissey deck was pretty bad. Just, like, objectively, I think that build is terrible. But, and sorry if in the super small world that whoever was playing that deck is watching this video right now, I apologize. I don't mean to be rude. Yeah, our opponent definitely just gave up. I don't mean to be rude or anything like that. I just think the build is not very good. I would definitely workshop it a little bit. But, you know, experimentation is always great. As for the triple stage 2 deck with Dragapult, Charizard, and Pidgeot, it's a tested deck. It's successful. I also don't really love that deck, but I know that there are people that do, and, like, a good amount of people that do play it. So, you know, more credit to them. But, yeah, that's going to be game number 2, guys. Definitely some weird games today, but it kind of is what it is. Check in tomorrow, though. Tomorrow's my 100th video, so I'm very excited to kind of put that out. I'm not sure what it's going to be, whether it's going to be a gameplay or just kind of like a channel update or whatever, but it is my 100th video tomorrow, so pretty excited about it. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Thank you guys all so much for all the support that you've put out on the channel. It's been really great and really, really appreciated. Be sure to join the community Discord in the comment section down below. Or in the description down below, rather, along with the deck list and the link to our upcoming tournament on Saturday, June 15th at 6:30 p.m. EST. Entry code is GNOME, G-N-O-M-E. It's a completely free tournament. Feel free to enter. We'd love to have you. And yeah, that's all the updates and all that kind of stuff. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I always appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.